Disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All third-party video clips, audio, and commentary fall under fair use as outlined in Section 107 of the Copyright Act, in accordance with applicable laws. The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the host and should not be taken as fact or professional advice, and do not necessarily reflect current views or affiliations.
Well, drivers, here we are, close to the end of 2025, and the state of trucking in 2025 has been getting darker and darker and darker by the day, by the week, by the second. It seems as though that we're talking about an accident involving either an American citizen or a illegal non-American citizen. Another headline, another crash, another fatal pileup, another fatality. Another reason, another reminder of how fast that this industry is spinning out of control. Drivers are younger, training is weaker, and now drug use and illegal entries are becoming a part of the problem. And that's where we're at right now, drivers. We're here, close to the end of 2025. And when you look back on this year in trucking, you notice that this quite possibly might be the deadliest year in trucking. Let's talk about it.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Our story begins on the 10 freeway in Ontario, California. Just after 1 o'clock, traffic was backed up, and what happened next came straight out of a GTA video game. A red tractor trailer came barreling down the westbound lane. No brakes, no slowdown, just full-on GTA impact. A witness says that the driver never slowed down. He just went full force into the back of another truck, which crashed into several other cars, creating a massive fireball that lit up the highway. And when all the smoke cleared, 4 tractor trailers, 4 cars, 5 people was involved. 3 of those people were confirmed unalived. 2 others was rushed to the hospital. And we're not sure of their conditions, but what we do know that they are in critical condition. Of course, California Highway Patrol confirmed that the driver never hit the brakes, and he was arrested right there on the spot for being under the influence of drugs. The helicopter showed the wreckage stretched hundreds of miles, which closed all of the westbound lanes except for the fast track. And it took hours for them to clean up that wreckage. Now, drivers, here comes the crazy part. Once again, authorities identified this driver as, now I might be getting his name wrong as I always do, but this is how they pronounce it. Jashanpreet Singh. Now,
Hold on!
right quick. Is that a theme that we're seeing now? This is like what, the 3rd driver with the last name Singh that's involved in these crazy major fatality accidents. Well, I don't think the first Singh was involved in a fatality, but from what I understand, the first Singh took out a whole bridge. Now, we come to find out that wasn't no relation to Jashanpreet Singh, who is in jail right now for the fatal crash on the Florida Turnpike, which involved 3 people in that van. But this Singh right here, ain't no way. Somebody in the comments came and explained to me that Singh seems to me is like a popular last name amongst these nationalists, I guess. I don't know. We're not sure if he's related to Harjinder, because this one right here is a 21-year-old Indian national who entered the U.S., according to the federal officials, illegally back in 2022. Now he's charged with driving up under the influence of drugs and vehicular manslaughter. Drivers, listen. This is a career-ending, life-ending choice for this 21-year-old driver that was high on something. He slammed into stop traffic, taking the lives of 3 people. Now he's facing prison time, and of course, he's definitely going to get deported when all of that is over with. Man, can you imagine just getting your CDL, your shot at a better life, and just throw it all away because you couldn't put the drugs down?
Smoke weed every day.
To me, that's not immaturity. That's just self-sabotage right there, right, drivers? And now, because of that one decision, one bad mistake, an entire company that he was driving for could go under. They're going to face lawsuits, insurance hikes, FMCSA's investigation, all because of one reckless act of this driver. This could potentially wipe out an entire business, especially if it's a small mom and pop business. But hey, it's like Jashanpreet Singh's company, they went ghost overnight. So as the story will continue to break, we eventually will find out more about the company that he was driving for. So stay tuned for that. But here's the other part of the story, drivers. Dude wasn't even supposed to be here in the first place. Again, he came illegally in 2022. Now, of course, that's going to raise the hard questions about how he got hired, who hired him, who verified his paperwork, and how he even got behind the wheel of the truck. And not only that, who gave him his CDL in the first place? See, this is a system failure that we're coming across every day, every week, every time we see an accident of this magnitude. See, if carriers are cutting corners and ignoring verification just to keep the trucks moving, then of course the FMCSA and DOT and law enforcement is going to step in like they're doing right now. Every time something like this happens, it just makes the entire industry looks bad, looks worse, looks pitiful. And it's going to give these politicians much more ammo to push for sweeping restrictions and harder registrations that just only going to just hurt the rest of us drivers out here that are doing right. So listen to the new driver out here, right? This is what not to do, okay? You work too hard to earn that CDL. Don't throw it away. Don't try to impress anybody or try to stay awake or try to numb out. The drugs, the shortcuts, the fake documentations, none of it, period, is worth your freedom or somebody else's life.
Hold on.
Enjoying what you're hearing? Ready for unfiltered trucking talk that tells it like it is? The Trucking Commentary Podcast with Lockoutmen delivers authentic reactions and engaging conversations about the latest trucking content from across YouTube and TikTok. Help us reach more drivers like you. Hit that like button and leave a comment to boost our visibility in YouTube's algorithm. Your support helps us deliver more of the no-nonsense trucking commentary you've come to like from Lockoutmen.
Drivers, this crash right here is a reflection of where trucking stands right now in 2025. Too many black op companies out here that's letting these desperate drivers, some of which are down and out, to the point that they are unprepared and or unqualified. We're seeing the fallout of a broken system here, one where the demands for freight outweighs common sense and safety. The highways, drivers, as I always say, is unforgiving out here. When you make one bad call out there, people could potentially die. We can talk about training, immigration, policies all day, every day. But it still comes down to driver and company accountability. See, if you're not mentally and physically ready for this game right here that we call trucking, driving 11 hours a day, being focused on the road 11 hours a day, getting enough rest and sleep to drive that 11 hours a day without using drugs, without trying to force yourself to be awake, then I say to you, driver, because I'm out here, your kids out here, my family is out here, you need to stay off the road, period. Because 1 second of stupidity can not only take everything away from you, but could definitely devastate the company that you was driving for.
What do you think? Is the real problem the drivers? Or is it the companies that hire them without vetting? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this episode informative, hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe to keep this conversation alive. And if you've got a story worth talking about, email me at lockoutmenpodcastguest@gmail.com. This is Trucking Commentary Podcast, Trucking Unfiltered.